Cool.
Did you start your new job today?
No, not until tomorrow. So I thought I'd spend my last day here cleaning up and maybe go visit Rod. And I want to try to catch Kim's TV show.
Emily's still asleep?
Yeah, I guess so. I haven't heard her stirring this morning. She's up pretty late, I think. No, as a matter of fact, I haven't seen much of her at all this whole holiday weekend. She's been spending most of her nights with Holden. You know, she even had Thanksgiving dinner out at the farm.
I guess she's spending a lot of time with Holden to try to forget all those horrible last memories of James.
Yeah, that's what I thought, too. But, I don't know. I don't really like it, Graham. I mean, Holden just coming off that relationship with Lily. And Emily practically declaring her love for James right up to the minute he died. It just doesn't seem right. It seems like somebody's bound to get hurt.
Don't have to worry about me, Betsy. Look, Holden and I care a lot about each other. Nobody's gonna get hurt. As a matter of fact, I'm glad you're both here. Holden has asked me to marry him, and I have decided to say yes.
Holden, you're going to destroy your life.
Don't you think you should talk to your daughter about destroying lives?
Look, I can't change what Lily did. I wish I could. But ever since she went to Dusty, you have done nothing but try and get even with her, and that is no reason to get married.
But Emily comes from a good family, all right? She believes in me. She's a great-looking girl, and that's important to me.
What about love? Is there any talk about love in this marriage?
I think that really liking somebody is more important. Knowing where you stand with them. Knowing that they're not going to stick a knife in your gut.
All right, fine. Let's not talk about love. Fine. Let's talk about the fact that she was involved with James Stenbeck right up until the night that he died, and you were involved with Lily.
Don't talk to me about Lily!
Holden, you're still in love with her.
So does that mean that I gotta suffer for the rest of my life? Lily's not. She's with Dusty now. So why should I go on wanting somebody who wants somebody else? Emily fits into my frame of things, my picture of things, the things that I want. And this...
Dawn. Go on, Holden. I'm very eager to hear about your picture of yourself. And how and why it includes Emily Stewart.
Okay, Paul, it looks great to me.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Good morning. Hi. Good morning. You look beautiful. Barbara, those Visconti designs are fabulous.
Oh,
just fabulous.
thank
Oh,
you.
I'm so grateful to you for doing the show, especially considering everything you're going through right now.
Well, it's kind of nice to have something to take my mind off the investigation.
Have you heard anything at all?
Not a word since the night before Thanksgiving, and somehow the silence is work. Worse, it just makes my imagination go wild.
Well, listen, no news is good news, okay? And I'm sure Jessica's on top of it for you.
How could this young man possibly be your son?
Oh, well, he is. Hi, what are you doing here?
I came by to wish you and Aunt Kim luck and to remind you to bring home that tape tonight so I can watch it, since you insisted I went to school.
Absolutely. I think we should get back to life as usual.
Your mom's right. Besides which, you can watch the tape with Andy. Be more fun.
Kim, I need your okay on something.
All right. Excuse me.
Okay.
Mom, I wish you'd let me tell the police that I took the gun up to the house that night Dad was killed.
Absolutely not. We agreed to this, Paul.
But listen, I was talking to Andy, and he knows I took the bullets out of the gun, and he's wondering why my fingerprints aren't on the gun. There's gotta be a reason. So maybe if I tell the police, they can investigate and...
Absolutely not. You are going to stick to our story. Do you understand me, young man?
Why? Is there something about how you got that gun that you haven't told me yet?
Look, Commissioner, as the new DA, no one is as anxious as I am to see this Stenbeck case brought to trial in front of a jury, but not if it means short-circuiting the entire investigation.
Tom, I admire your stand, but we've already had a thorough investigation. And since she certainly had the clearest motive, everything points to Barbara Ryan as Stenbeck's killer.
Award winner, As the World Turns. This portion brought to you today by Ivory, clean the way it ought to be, and by Jif, the peanut butter with the fresh roasted peanutty difference.
Do it all. Now, I want you to go to school and concentrate on your studies and forget about this, please.
How
please,
can I forget
please
about it,
forget
Mom?
About this.
You haven't answered my question yet.
I don't know how your fingerprints got off the gun. I don't know. I don't know if they were washed up in the rain or washed up by your jacket. I don't know, Paul.
Or maybe...
What?
Maybe you wiped my prints off deliberately?
Barbara, I need you to go over to the model lineup with me.
I'll be right there.
Okay? It's gonna be okay. I promise you, it's gonna be all right.
I know it is. I just don't want anything to happen to you. After all, forget it. Good luck. I'll see you later.
Barbara, do you want the three models to come right back
Kim,
out?
please ask Kim.
Is that okay, Kim? Sure, it's fine.
Listen, could we run through the rundown one more time? Honey, did Paul say something to upset you?
No. I just wish there was some way that I could spare him any more hurt than what he's already gone through.
Nobody knows how to get better ratings than Lucinda Dixon.
Meaning what, Ted?
Barbara Ryan is a designer and a prime murder suspect. Barbara, you have got to remember how you got that gun.
Why weren't my fingerprints on that gun, Mom? Is there something about that gun that you're not even telling me?
Mama, please, just sit, okay? I don't want to upset you. I know you're going through a lot, and I know how you feel about Lily.
Holden, I am not concerned about Lily. I'm concerned about you right now. I know that you're hurting very much with all this business, and I don't want you to hurt yourself more. And I'm going to say to you exactly what I said to Meg when she brought Tonio home here. The reason that two people marry each other is because they love each other and because they want to spend the rest of their lives together. And I don't think that you feel that way about Emily. And I know that you feel that way about Lily.
Mama, Emily and I, we've helped each other get over a lot of our pain. And we feel good about each other when we're with each other. I think that eventually we can build a good life. Now, I know that you didn't approve of Tonio at first, but at Thanksgiving, everybody seemed to be getting along just fine.
Yeah, well, maybe you approve of Tonio now because he's paying you such a big, fat salary. Now, Iva told me that you had some crazy idea about marrying Emily Stewart, but I didn't believe it until I heard it just now with my own ears.
I didn't want to say anything with Caleb and Ellie and Aunt Elizabeth around at Thanksgiving.
Why not? Seems to me a man might be proud to make an announcement like that, unless he knew it was wrong.
I don't think that you should be giving any advice about marriage, all right? You're the one who was supposed to be in love with Franny. Planning that big wedding, and then what do? You go off and fall in love with her twin sister.
Holden. That was mean and uncalled for. Do you hear me? Now, I know you're hurting, but that doesn't give you any right to lash out at everybody else.
Well, I'm sorry, all right? This is my life, and I gotta start thinking for myself. And Emily, she just fits in fine for me right now.
You know, I'm very excited about marrying Holden. Can't you be a little happy for me, something?
I'm sorry, honey. It's just that I'm just so shocked by the suddenness of it all.
Well, it's sudden, yeah. But if you remember, I dated Holden when I first came to Oakdale last summer. I've always liked him. I mean, he's bright and he's talented. Lord knows he's handsome. And on top of all that, he comes from the kind of family I have always wanted to be a part of.
Emily, you're talking about this as if it's something totally reasonable and logical, which it isn't. I mean, it's coming totally out of the blue here. And it is, I'm sorry to say this, but it's obviously a reaction to James and the way he died.
Mother?
Hello, darling. Aren't you going to invite me in?
Margot, surprised to see you here. I figured you'd be up to your ears in the Stenbeck investigation.
Well, actually, I am. I was here for a doctor's appointment with Dr. Samuels, and now I'm headed back to work.
Did you know that Tom had an appointment to see the commissioner at 6 o'clock this morning?
Well, that doesn't sound good.
Why not?
Well, the commissioner's under a lot of pressure. He's pushing us to make an arrest. We're nowhere near ready for that.
Well, we missed seeing you over the holiday weekend.
I missed you, too. I just thought if I came, it might be awkward for a lot of people, so maybe as time goes by, it'll be less awkward.
Take it easy, Meg. Don't start acting guilty.
What is Margot Hughes doing here?
I have no idea. I'm sure it has nothing to do with us.
I have not breathed a free breath since Nick Costello called, and I won't until he's behind bars. Oh, God, tell you what. What if the police catch him and he decides just to go ahead and say that you were at the Rice and Hill house
Meg,
just out of spite?
Meg, he hasn't called us back since that first time. And according to the reports, he stole McKechnie's speedboat and got away. He's probably halfway around the world and we'll never hear from him again.
Oh, God,
right?
I hope so.
Hey, you two could start a trend. Memorial, the honeymoon hospital. Could advertise in the travel section.
Oh, we had a great honeymoon. Well, we missed you, Margot, over the weekend.
Yes, well, Hal and I were working around the clock at the station, and we didn't really get a chance to see anybody. Hey!
Hi! Hey, Dad, did you tell everybody my news?
No, I haven't. I didn't know if it was definite or not. I was hoping it wasn't.
Well, I just talked about it with Dr. Michaels again, and I think I've made up my mind, yeah.
Well, what is it, Red?
I'm moving to Boston.
Hey, Andy, how's it going? Okay. I went by the TV studio this morning to wish my mom welcome. Your mom was there. She said to say hi. Something wrong?
Yeah, something's wrong. Something's real wrong, Paul. At least I give you a straight answer, which is more than you said for you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, come on, Paul. You know what I'm talking about. Every time I ask you what happened that night your dad was shot, you give me the complete runaround, but then you want to dump everything on me and expect me to cover for you.
You're not mad at me. You're mad because Kathy left town. It's got nothing to do with me. So how was your weekend with your dad and Lucinda?
Lousy. Everybody kept pretending everything was fine, but the tension in that house, you could cut it with a knife. And Lucinda kept calling up Ambrose every 2 seconds to check on that case. Investigation.
That's probably because my mom remembered... It's probably because my mom remembered hearing shots before she went into the house. And then she saw Lucinda there standing over James. Oh, great.
Paul, I need to ask you a couple of questions. Could help your mom.
Sure, what's this about?
It's about a gun that's unaccounted for.
Look, Commissioner, no one wants to see this Stenbeck's killer found, tried, and convicted more than I do. I am the person that promised the people of Oakdale that I would put an end to this Falcon business. Now, it's taken a little longer than I thought it would to make this promise come true, but at least we're closer now than we were before.
Oh, are we?
Yes, we are! At least we know now that Stenbeck was the Falcon. Look, I got a little sidetracked in Washington when I was working on the Crime Commission. That's unfortunate. But one thing that I can tell you is that I want this thing concluded fairly without any political pressure.
Tom, you misunderstand me. I am not saying that I want to go rushing out and arrest someone with no evidence just to appease the public. What I am saying is that we have the evidence, and it all points to Barbara Ryan.
Commissioner, in all fairness, I want you to know I've got my top 3 detectives working full-time on this case. And they all feel there are too many loose ends that still have to be tied up.
And I want you to know that I agree with them.
Well, those so-called loose ends can all be tied up after an arrest is made. Tom, face the facts. Barbara Ryan has no idea where the gun came from. So she invents this memory lapse story as a convenient excuse.
It's not an excuse. I believe she's telling the truth. I saw her come out of that house. Mac was there with me. My God, she survived a terrible explosion. She thought her only son was in that blazing house.
All right. All right. I hadn't wanted to say this, but maybe this is the time.
What?
Well, I happen to know that Barbara Ryan is a member of your family.
Oh, she's not a blood relative. Yes, I've known her most of my life. So what?
Well, in that case, Tom, I honestly think that you should step down and turn this case over to an assistant DA.
I can't do that, Commissioner.
Why not?
It's the easy way out. It wouldn't be fair. I can't abrogate my responsibility like that.
Excuse me, Lieutenant, look, I just wanted to let you know that I talked to Monica Lawrence again, and she still won't change a word of her story. She insists that her mummy didn't know Stenbeck was back in town till that night.
Well, I don't believe her for a minute. Now, this is another example of somebody with a clear motive holding back the truth. But we've got to back up the facts that we have before we can accuse her of lying.
Roy, I'd like to ask for your professional opinion. Do you think we have enough evidence to make an arrest?
Wait a minute, Tom.
Listen, I'm just asking for a detective that's worked on this case since day one for his personal opinion. Now, is there anything wrong with that?
All right, Franklin.
No. I definitely don't think we have enough evidence. As a matter of fact, Hal Munson's out there tracking down a very important lead right now that might shed a whole new light on this case.
So what I'm trying to find out is what happened to the gun that your father held on Dr. Dixon up on the ridge.
Well, I kicked the gun aside so nobody'd get hurt.
Did your father retrieve the gun before you all left the ridge?
I don't know.
Why don't you know, Paul?
Well, Nick came up. He said he had a car waiting down by the road. And he hustled me out of there so fast I had no idea what was going on. Dad was behind us, so it is possible that he picked it up, but I doubt he had enough time. Maybe Dr. Dixon picked it up.
See, Dr. Dixon insists that he never saw it again.
Then it must still be up there.
Well, I've already had the area searched. I've got some men up there now. See, Paul, I'm just hoping that it's the gun that your mother says disappeared from her bedside table.
I wouldn't know.
Because if it is, Paul, and somehow your father took it up to Ruxton Hills, then we know at least how it got up there. Then we can clear your mother, but what I need right now is some proof.
Hal, I would like to help you. You know I would. It's...
Yeah. Well, it was a long shot, huh? Talk to you later.
Bye, Hal. Paul, why didn't you just tell him that there were no bullets in that gun, that you took him out?
I gotta get to class. See you later.
What made you decide on Boston?
Well, it's kind of been in the back of my mind for a while now. It's sort of evolved from my discussions with Dr. Michaels. So, Casey, you'll have to give me some tips on Boston since it's your hometown.
Hey, be glad to.
So, Franny, you'll be going to the university as well as working in the clinic.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, they agreed to accept me mid-semester.
Well, you're gonna love that school, and you should look up my folks when you're there. They'll make sure you don't go hungry.
Yeah. But that's so exciting to be working in a clinic that you're responsible for opening.
Oh, it is, and she's still going to get credit at the university. And
I'm very proud of you, too. But I'm sure gonna miss you.
Is it really? Bob, isn't Kim's show starting?
Oh, that's right. Let's go watch it.
Hey, but see you later, okay?
We're saving it at home.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss you. Miss you. I'll see you later.
Hey, Holden, what are you doing here?
Hello. I needed to get my neck checked from that accent. Listen, Antonio, why don't you get those partnership papers drawn up? I should be able to buy into the company by the end of next week.
Stand by, Kim.
No.
5, 4, 3.
Our special guest on Patterns today is this year's winner of the Fashion Institute Award for the Best American Designer, Miss Barbara Ryan.
I thought nothing you could do would ever surprise me again. But married?
I think maybe we could go watch this in the other room.
All right.
Mother, what are you doing?
I can't watch Kim and Barbara on an empty stomach.
I work for Barbara, remember? I wanted to see her.
We've got more important things to discuss. What you're doing only confirms what I've suspected since that morning I found you with Dr. Samuels. I know why you're rushing into that marriage with Holden. You're pregnant with James's child, aren't you? Aren't you?
This portion of As the World Turns has been brought to you today by NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever so you can rest medicine. And by Pepto-Bismol, coats, soothes, and relieves. Pepto-Bismol for most common stomach discomforts. We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment. And now, part 2 of As the World Turns.
I'm not leaving here until I get a straight answer.
Well, I'm not answering your questions, Mother. Especially not any personal ones.
What? This is your mother you're talking.
You're not my mother. You've never been a mother to me. And you never will be. I'm marrying Holden Snyder, and I'm going to start a whole new life for myself. A life where I make the rules.
I hope you're not going to blame me for the mess you've made of your life.
No, I'm not. I am not going to do that, and it would be so easy for me to. Starting with the fact that I never even knew my father. And now up to this involvement with James, but I won't blame you, Mother. I'll take it all on my own, okay? But now I am going to start controlling my life. I want you to go back to Omaha and leave me alone. And whatever relationship, if you want to call it a relationship, is over. I don't want you to be a part of my life.
I can't just go back to Omaha and not be part of my only daughter's wedding.
Oh, come on, Mother. You'll manage. The same way you have managed to miss every other important occasion in my life. I don't want you at my wedding. I don't want you anywhere near my life. Don't you understand that?
No. 22 years? You think you can just wipe them out? Just like that?
Just think it's best for both of us. You know the sad thing? Oh, Mommy, I don't think you ever meant to hurt me. I just don't think you ever wanted to be or were cut out to be a mother.
What about you? Speaking of motherhood, I really hit a nerve when I asked you if you were pregnant. Are you?
I'm not answering that question. And I want you to go now.
I'm going to make a prediction. And then I'm going to sit back and wait to be right. Because I am certain that you know more about how James Stenbeck died than you're telling the police. Oh, I'm right about that. I know that. You may be able to keep the paternity of your child a secret, but you'll never be able to conceal what you know about James's murder. Oh, I only hope that this new life lasts long enough for you to enjoy it.
Well, it all started when I got a call from Franco Visconti, who, as you know, is one of the top leather manufacturers in Italy. And he asked me to design a new ready-to-wear line for him, and I had an awful lot of fun. It was a terrific challenge, and I think you'll enjoy the result.
I can't wait to see it. I know we're all looking forward to it. Do you want to tell us just a little bit about what we're going to be looking at?
Well, the one thing I'd like the audience to remember is that when they see these fashions, they're looking at fashions made from leather and suede, not fabric, even though it moves with the same suppleness as very fine wool or silk.
Wonderful. Let's see what you have.
First of all, Tracy is showing us a swing jacket with contrasting collar and cuffs. Now, I'm showing it here in rust and black. And it comes with a slim skirt and a cap sleeve blouse and a silk-screened Jaguar russet suede. Isn't that beautiful?
It's beautiful. I wouldn't mind having that myself.
You know, animal print's very popular this year, and I just love this one.
Tracy, that's beautiful. Thank you. Isn't that pretty?
Next, we have Willie, who can show us her sense of fun in this outfit from our holiday line. She's wearing a soft, easy suede jacket, shirt at the yoke sleeve, over leather pleated shorts, and a halter-style suede top.
Oh, that color is just...
You can see how soft it is, how it
Yeah.
really drapes beautifully.
Looks comfortable, too.
Thank you, Will.
I think I want one of each.
I
Not
think
sure
I'd
I'd
like
look
one
that,
of every of those
that
colors.
good in it, though.
Next, we have Trisha, who is showing the much more sportive look, possibly for a weekend in the city. She's wearing an Eisenhower-style jacket, cut in taupe leather. Now, we're making this with a matching skirt or pants, but we can dress it down with the black leather pants and her favorite guy's T-shirt.
Very nice.
Thank you, Trisha.
Oh, I love these so far. They're just great. We're going to be seeing more of Simply Barbara Fashions in just a moment after we have a word from our sponsor. Stay with us.
Yeah, come on, it's going great, and we're right on time.
Okay.
And Barbara, you won't believe it. People are already calling in to find out where to get your fashions.
Good.
Okay, we have 30 seconds left of the break. All right?
All right. Come on. We can do it. You all right?
I feel like I'm sleepwalking. I mean, I know I'm here and I'm doing it, but I just can't help keep thinking about the fact that my fate is being decided right now down at police headquarters. And there's nothing I can do about it.
Stand by, ladies. In 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to Patterns. In case you just joined us, our special guest today is noted fashion designer, Miss Barbara Ryan.
Mac, why on earth do you still have 3 top detectives working on the Stenbeck case? Isn't one sufficient at this point?
Now, look, Bill. One reason that you and I have been able to work so well together is because we never try to tell each other how to do our jobs.
Oh, Mac, I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job. I'm just looking for a little justification for the taxpayers.
No, see, Commissioner, you don't understand. Hal Munson, Margot Hughes, and I, we all have different gut instincts about this
Please,
case.
spare me that tired phrase, Frank.
But wait a minute. It was Hal's gut instinct that led us to investigate Nick Costello.
Somebody mention my name?
Yeah, Roy tells us you're working on a new lead. What's that about?
It looks like another dead end at this point.
Hey, Hal. I just came in and Sullivan handed this to me. They found it up on the ridge behind Lucinda Walsh's house in a pile of leaves. They're checking the registration number now.
Oh, there goes my theory.
What theory?
About Stenbeck stealing the gun from Barbara's bedroom, bringing it up to the ridge, and then retrieving it after Paul had kicked it out of reach.
It's not the same caliber as the murder weapon.
Damn!
That's right. We'll come up with a new theory, one that works. As a matter of fact, I got a couple of guys checking something out about Tonio Reyes.
Instead of looking for a new theory, why don't we just go with the one that's staring us all in the face? That Barbara Ryan invented the story about the gun being missing, that she took the murder weapon up to Ruxton Hill's house, that she killed her ex-husband, and that she faked traumatic shock and memory loss to cover her criminal actions.
And what about the small detail of the 2 shots that she heard before she went into the house?
Another one of her inventions, if you ask me.
With all due respect, sir, I think...
Need I remind you that our prime suspect is the same woman who lied to your face about her son being in summer camp and then prep school, while all the time he was with his father and she knew it?
No, you don't have to remind me of that, but I'd like to remind you of something. And you can have my badge if you want it when I'm done. I happen to know Barbara Ryan a lot better than you may realize. We were very close once, and yes, I knew that she was lying about her son, and no, I did not call her on it because I thought that she might lead us to Stenbeck. And maybe I was wrong to do that, sir, the way that things turned out. But the same woman that I knew was lying then, my gut tells me is not lying now, and I will be damned if I'm going to stand by and watch you railroad her into prison.
I think this is terrific. Holden buying into Tonio's company? I mean, come on, he's going to be incredibly successful. Tonio's company's getting bigger and bigger. He's taking clients away from Lucinda left and right. I don't see what you're so upset about.
I am upset because he is doing this whole thing for all the wrong reasons, and he's getting the money from Emily.
So what if he is? Even if he is using her, I would have loved to give Tonio money when we were first together if I could have to help him start a business. Now, I know nobody agrees with this marriage. Well, as I see it, he could do a lot worse.
Why? Why do I talk to you about this? I don't understand. We have totally different opinions. Holden is going to get hurt if he continues to be so self-destructive.
And what do you want him to do? Pine over Lily for the rest of his life? It's all her fault. She's the one that started all
fine.
this.
All I'm saying is that I hope you're around to help Mama get over the shock of this disappointment if Holden goes through with this whole thing.
I'll watch the rest of it on tape at home tonight. Nice to see Barbara doing so well, considering what she's been through. Glenn, how is she really doing?
Well, she said she was going to call me to make another appointment. I really hope she does. I'd like to help her fill in the blanks in time.
Lila?
Yeah.
Could you make excuse for me for about a half an hour? I've got to go out and do an errand, okay?
Oh, all right, Meg. Bob. Okay. Hi, Lila. I gotta go. Bye-bye.
You must be so proud of Kim. It looks like she's been hosting a TV show for her whole life.
I am. I'm very proud of her.
That makes two of us.
I guess things are going to be kind of lonely with Franny leaving before the holidays.
Well, it won't be the same Hughes Christmas without her.
Well, at least you have her look-alike there, right?
Well, actually, we don't see that much of Sabrina. She's staying out at the Snyder farm to help out. Well, since Emma had a heart attack.
Well, it's really too bad that the Cobbs don't need you anymore, Saul. Well, you know how it is with farmers. Winter coming, we'll have to cut back. It's terrible.
I know. I'm just grateful for the months of work I've had and the roof over my head.
Yeah. I did speak to Lucinda Dixon about you working for her as a stableman, you know, and I'll mention it again to John Dixon when he comes out here to examine me. You know, by the way, if you have a problem with a place to stay, if you like, you're very welcome to stay here.
It's mighty neighborly of you, Miss Snyder, but I know times are hard for you, too. As long as I can do an honest day's work, I don't think I ought to take charity.
Saul, you know, I think we might be able to give you some short-term employment anyway, where you can do an honest day's work.
How's that?
Well, Mom, I haven't told you this, but Professor Stern read my book over the weekend, and he sent it to a publisher in Chicago.
Really? Oh, why didn't you tell me this?
The publisher wants Seth to come to Chicago for a few days so he can meet with him and speak to an editor.
And Sabrina wants to meet with a gallery owner up there about a showing of her work, and we thought we might kill two birds with one stone.
Oh, this is just wonderful, but I can't believe that you've kept all this to yourself. When are you going?
Well, we weren't even sure that we were going to be able to go until Saul walked in here, and I figured, well, maybe he'll be able to solve our problem. Now, I'll pay you a full week's wage and room and board if you'll take over my chores. How's that sound to you?
It's like music to my ears. You got yourself a deal.
All right, good man, thanks.
I'm glad. Really happy all this is working out, Seth, but I can't believe you'd even consider not going if it hadn't been for Saul.
Well, geez, I couldn't leave you alone here, farm in the lurch,
Seth,
Mama.
I really don't like that, you know? I mean, I really want you to concentrate now on your own life and Sabrina. Now, I mean it. You've given up enough of your life for this farm. And I'll tell you something. If you don't start doing it, I am going to sell this farm, and I'm going to have done with it once and for all.
Look, all right. Just take it easy. It's all going to happen all right, okay? It's all going to be all right. Sit down.
I'm sorry.
All right. So, what do you think? We can be set to go in the morning?
Absolutely.
All right.
Good morning.
Hold it. What's this?
That's the advance on your salary that I promised you.
Tonio, this is a lot more than I asked for.
Well, you're going to need it now that you're getting married. And I feel very confident that you'll earn it back very soon, won't you?
Thanks. I appreciate hearing that. Listen, if you don't mind, I'd like to go over and see Emily for a little while. Is that all right?
Sure, take all the time you want.
Thanks.
Meg.
Hi, Maggie.
What are you doing here? I just left you at the hospital.
See you, Tonio.
Tonio, Barbara Ryan plans on getting herself hypnotized again so that she can, like, piece together all the things that she can't remember about that night. What if she remembers seeing you in the rearview mirror of her car?
Hi. Oh, hi. I hope you don't mind. I just have to ask you a few more questions about the Stenbeck case. You know, I just wanted to go over your statement a little bit. You said on the night that Stenbeck was murdered that you went home and spent a nice, quiet evening alone with your wife.
That's correct.
Is that correct in your memory, too, Meg?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I remember the name of the cleaners that you guys used from when Duncan went and got your blazer. So I had a couple of men go down to Debonair Cleaners, right? And I asked them what you had brought in, you know, recently. And they actually showed me a rather soiled, interesting trench coat that I believe is yours, right, Meg? And also a man's trench coat. And these things were brought in the day after the night in question. Interesting enough, the man's trench coat has a blood stain on the left-hand sleeve. Can you explain all this?
Yes, it's very simple, actually.
Good.
As for the raincoats, I've already told you that Meg and I had a disagreement that night, and I moved temporarily into the executive club.
Oh, that's right. That's where Lucinda called you to tell you where James was so you could carry out your threat to kill him, right?
Exactly. Meg convinced me to return to our apartment, and after some time, I agreed. As we left, it was pouring rain, and when I went to put my suitcase into the trunk of my car, I cut my hand. That's what the blood is from. We returned to my apartment, settled in for the evening, and were disturbed by Detective Franklin, who had then asked me to come down to the station and answer some questions.
Got it. Is that true, Meg?
Yes. Yeah, it's true. Every single word.
Well, I must say, this comes as quite a surprise. But I'm sure that you gave it a lot of thought before you decided it was the right thing to do.
Oh, yes, I have.
Well, I'm going to miss you very, very much. And you better promise me that you'll keep in touch now, you hear?
Oh, I will, and I want you to keep making the same good progress.
I intend to. Well, I guess I better get on out and show Saul the things he's going to do when Seth is gone.
I'll do it, Mama.
Now, it's the doctor's orders, plenty of fresh air, right? Bye-bye.
Franny, I hope you're not leaving on our account.
Yes, as I said, I'm the one who should. No, please, I'm going to Boston for positive reasons, both professional and personal.
I hope so. But you wouldn't be going if things hadn't happened the way they did.
No, of course not. We'd be married. Look, I know you've both been holding back because of me, and I don't want you to do that. You love each other. You should take advantage of it. Things can change really quickly. Now, I said that, I'd better go. Perhaps one day we can be real sisters. Yeah, maybe. Bye.
Ready.
I'll see you back here later. Look, Tom, I know our esteemed commissioner is putting the pressure on, but it's probably because he's feeling the heat from the governor's mansion.
Good morning.
Hey, what's with Reyes?
More bald-faced lies, but the look of panic on Meg's face belied it all.
Well, we can't make an arrest based on some guy's wife's guilty expression.
I know that, sir. I'm trying to figure out some way of breaking down Tonio's story. Excuse me. Yeah, it's Hughes. Yeah, I need someone to do a blood workup for me, will you? Yeah, it's... Okay, great. That would be terrific. It's up outside of the lieutenant's office. Thanks.
What's that all about?
There's some blood on the raincoat that Tonio Reyes was wearing the night James was killed. He claims he cut his hand on the trunk of a car.
Maybe he did.
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm going to find out. But I'll tell you right now, this case is getting so damn frustrating, I'm going to scream.
Well, I guess finding Nick is our only out now. Our only hope. Well, speaking of which, I think I'll see how the search is doing.
Excuse me, you want to tell me what that was all about? Were you guys going on? What's going on?
Look, before I tell you this, I want you to try to understand all the reasons behind it, all right?
No, Tom, just tell me what it is.
Emily, I've never been one of your mother's biggest fans, but you sounded like you came down pretty hard on her.
I meant every word I said. I don't want her to be a part of my life. Let's face it, the only family I've ever had is right here.
Well,
that's the way you feel about it, I wish you'd listen to what we had to say.
Hello?
Hi there.
Hi. I guess Emily's told you our good news.
Yes. Yeah. I hope that you'll stay and discuss it with us. This is all so soon, my goodness.
Well, it's,
Yes, operator, this is Betsy Andropoulos.
I've heard of very happy courtships, but this is ridiculous.
Frank?
We think that it's going to work.
Wait, you guys, will you hold it down for a second? It's Frank calling from Greece. Yeah, hi. Well, what else did Steve say? I see. Yeah. Well, okay, I'll talk to you and Maggie when you get back. Thanks, Frank.
Frank saw Steve?
Yesterday. He said that Steve has initiated divorce proceedings.
Barbara, I want to thank you for being our special guest today. I just congratulate you on your accomplishments, and I know there are going to be many more awards in your future.
Thank you very much, Kim.
I'd like to thank our beautiful models, too. Thank you so much. And our audience for tuning in. Now, don't forget, join us next week for Patterns. Great. Thanks, girls. Very good. Bravo. Thank you. You were all just beautiful. And you, my dear. Me? Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Let me take you out for a nice, relaxing lunch now. How about
relaxing
that?
part
I'm
sounds
starved. I've got my stuff. We'll get it on Kim. It looks like we had another
Did it go up?
Okay, good. I'm beginning to relax a little bit, I think. You did.
Barbara, I don't know how to tell you this.
You're going to arrest me for James' murder, aren't you?
Stay tuned for Guiding Light, next on most of the CBS stations. Suede fashions, courtesy of Alicia Herrera. Join us tomorrow for the Emmy Award winner, As the World Turns.